Cinderella was a child with enchanting beauty. Her beauty was different from that of other girls. When Cinderella was young, her mother passed away and her father remarried, bringing a stepmother and stepsisters into the family. While her father was alive, they mistreated Cinderella, but not too severely. Perhaps those were happier days. After her father's death, the abuse from her stepmother and stepsisters reached its peak. Every day was a struggle for Cinderella. Cinderella, what are you doing? Have you finished the laundry? Yes, mother. Then quickly fold the laundry and clean the house. Look at this dust. Her stepmother would find dust with her fingertips and scold her. If Cinderella showed even a bit of laziness, the rod would come flying. Ouch, ouch. I am sorry, mother. When she was wiping away tears by the ashes of the fireplace, her stepsisters would rush over and nag her. Cinderella, what are you doing? When will you clean my room? Cinderella, did you make my bed as I asked? Yes, yes, I'll do it right away, sisters. She would return to the fireplace, crying herself to sleep by the ashes. Then one day, an invitation from the prince arrived. It was an invitation to a ball where he would choose his bride. Oh my, what if the prince chose me? Hey, the prince's bride will be me. The stepsisters were in a frenzy, spreading out their dresses. The stepmother, looking at her daughters, sang a song. La la la, my beautiful daughters will surely become the prince's bride. Right, Cinderella? Yes, mother. After the stepsisters finished their preparations and left for the ball, Cinderella sat by the fireplace and cried bitterly. At that moment, a kind-looking old woman appeared before her. Cinderella, why are you so sad? Oh, it's nothing. Cinderella shook her head, wiping away her tears. It's okay, tell me. With the old woman's kind smile, Cinderella felt a surge of courage and spoke up. I also want to go to the ball at the castle. The old woman, who had been silently watching Cinderella, spoke. To the ball where the prince is looking for a bride. Yes. Oh dear, only very beautiful maidens go there. If you go, you might get rejected. The old woman's words seemed to pierce Cinderella's heart. Do you know about me, Granny? Of course, I have known about you for a long time. But I can charm the prince. I am confident. Good, then go to the field and pick a pumpkin. When Cinderella brought a pumpkin, old woman struck the ground with her cane. The pumpkin transformed into a glittering golden carriage. Oh, amazing! Ho, 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 I am a fairy godmother. Don't be surprised. Then she waved her cane, and 6 splendid white horses and a coachman appeared. When she lightly touched Cinderella's clothes, they transformed into a magnificent dress. As Cinderella hurriedly tried to leave, the old woman stopped her and took out a pair of glass slippers from her bosom. These shoes are lucky shoes. They will bring you good fortune. Tears welled up in Cinderella's eyes. But remember this, everything I have created with magic will disappear after midnight. Except for these glass slippers. No matter what, return before midnight. Understand? Yes, I will return by midnight. Thank you. When Cinderella appeared at the ball, people were astonished. Her beauty was fatal, unrivaled, and overwhelming all the other women's beauty. The prince muttered to himself, how can she be so beautiful? That beauty is incomparable to any other woman. The prince approached Cinderella and held out his hand. May I have this dance? Cinderella smiled faintly and nodded. It felt like a dream. As they danced, the prince felt a strong desire for Cinderella. He touched her body, but Cinderella harshly removed his hand. The prince was taken aback by her unexpected reaction. Then Cinderella placed his hand on her slender waist. The prince was delighted. Cinderella knew how to play with men. She could see through a man's heart better than anyone. They danced, losing track of time. Dong, dong, dong. The bell struck midnight. Oh no, I need more time to charm him. Cinderella desperately ran towards the door, intentionally leaving one of her glass slippers behind. The prince, chasing after her, picked up the slipper and pressed it to his cheek. It had a faint smell, but the prince was already captivated by Cinderella. The next day, the prince fell into a lovesick daze. He called his servants. "Is anyone there?" "Yes, my prince. Find the owner of this glass slipper and bring her to me. I will marry the owner of this slipper." "Yes, my prince." The servants searched the entire kingdom, trying the slipper on every woman, but it was too small for all of them. Eventually, they arrived at Cinderella's house. The stepsisters confidently claimed the slipper belongs to them. "I am the owner of this slipper." The first sister tried it on, but it was far too small. "You wicked girl! Are you mocking me?" The first sister was slapped and thrown aside. The servant asked the second sister, "Are you the owner of this glass slipper?" The second sister trembled and shook her head. Then Cinderella shyly spoke up. "May I try it on?" The slipper fit perfectly. The servants cheered. "Hooray! We found her! Let's take her to the prince immediately." Why did the glass slipper only fit Cinderella's foot? The truth was, Cinderella was a transgender woman. Not a man or a woman, but a transgender person. Therefore, Cinderella's feet were larger than other women's, and she could see through men's hearts, able to manipulate the prince's emotion. Finally, Cinderella and the prince had a grand wedding, and he willingly accepted Cinderella, who was more beautiful than any other woman and had completely captivated the prince. After that, Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after.